If you want your ex back or you just want to move on, then no contact is almost always the best way forward. It prevents you from making mistakes and backsliding, it makes your ex miss you, and it gives you a chance to process the breakup and repair some of the damage done. That is, at least if you can stick to it. And while no contact itself is pretty simple, maintaining it can be really difficult for a lot of people. So in this video, I'll explain how to stop yourself from contacting your ex. Relying on willpower alone here is a mistake because you're just making it harder than it has to be. So I'll tell you how to set yourself up for success early on in no contact, how to deal with unintentional and necessary contact, and how to resist the urge to reach out to your ex before the time is right. I'm Brad Browning, of course, the internet's biggest breakup nerd, and I've made it my mission to help you get your ex back, and that's why I'm here on YouTube dishing out this kind of advice for free. If you find any of this helpful, throw a like my way and subscribe for a brand new video every week to help you keep on track. Now, I'm going to share with you a bunch of tips on how to stop yourself from reaching out to your ex during no contact. But before that, we have to talk about where you are right now, because this is often what sets people up for failure when it comes to reconnecting with their ex. Are you and your ex currently in regular contact? Maybe still seeing each other or been sleeping together? Have you been, trying to get them to agree to meet with you? Is there supposed to be some important conversation soon that will, clear things up and you're just waiting for the right time? Well, any and all of these scenarios are going to cause you a lot of difficulty when it comes to maintaining no contact for obvious reasons. First off, whether you want your ex back or just have residual feelings for them, you're still clinging to their presence in your life in any way that you can. And this is why, these small connections between you and your ex feel so significant. It feels like if you were to break these bonds, you'd never see them again. So while you feel like you're in no contact, if you are still invested in your ex in these ways, you haven't even begun the process. You're really hanging all your hopes on these little connections, on some hypothetical conversation, in the future that will set all this right, giving you clarity and closure that will, set your mind at ease. But I'm here to tell you that's not coming. What you feel right now is grief over the end of this relationship. On some level, whether or not you're aware of it, you feel like you can deal with this grief by getting closer to your ex. But I think, if you think about this for any length of time, you'll realize that by doing this, you're only making things worse. This is not to say that you shouldn't try to get your ex back if that's what you want, but this is not the way to make it happen, nor the reason to do it. The only reason you should try to get your ex back is because you think you could be happy together again. And the only way to make that happen, at least in most situations, is through no contact. So you need to begin the process of letting go of these small connections to your ex if you do want to make no contact work for you. So stop sleeping with them, stop seeing them, and accept that you're not going to get what you want through further contact with your ex. Now let that sink in, Write it down and look at it whenever you feel weak. This needs to be, your mantra throughout the period of no contact. Now that we've covered this important step, let's talk about what else you can do to make no contact easier and actually prevent yourself from contacting your ex. So number one is to remove all reminders. Shortly after a breakup, everything reminds you of your ex. A song, a random thought, the coffee shop where you always went to on the weekends. But as time passes, it often takes more specific triggers to actually bring them to mind and to set you back. So if you have pictures of your ex in your place, belongings of theirs just hanging around, love notes, gifts from them, whatever it is, you really need to get them out of your sight. You don't have to have a big bonfire or anything like that. Just box these things up and put them in the closet where you won't have to see them around every corner. Now, some of these things will be obvious, others are not so obvious. So from here on out, whenever you see something that reminds you of your ex, you need to put it in this box. Make it a habit. It's going to be things that you don't expect. For example, one of my clients kept getting tripped up by seeing her ex's breakfast cereal in the cupboard. And once she got rid of that box of cereal, she was able to get through a morning without thinking about him, and her day went a lot smoother. Now, of course, this isn't always easy, but you need to do whatever it takes to remove any of those visible reminders of your ex from your immediate surroundings. By eliminating those reminders, you're going to help push him or her to the back of your mind, making it less likely that you'll feel the urge to contact them. All right, and number two is get them off your social media. Now, many people go straight to blocking their ex after a breakup, and while that is an option if you never plan on contacting them again in the future, say you got cheated on by them or you just have zero interest in them, it's not really necessary in most cases. Most social media platforms allow you to mute your ex's posts, stories, tweets, or whatever for a period of time until you turn them back on. This way, it won't create more drama when they realize they've been blocked. And muting your ex is easily reversible, and they never have to know. Now, this is a very important step for those of you that spend a lot of your time on the phone. You don't want your ex to be the first thing you see when you wake up in the morning or the last thing you see before you fall asleep. That is, at least, until you have them back in your arms for good. All right, and tip number 3, don't drink to escape your feelings. Now, not surprisingly, one of the things that can totally ruin your self-control and lower your natural inhibitions is alcohol. If you really want to win back your ex, and you're the type to drunk dial after you've been into the adult beverages, then you really need to think about laying off the booze during no contact. This might seem like an unreasonable suggestion if you're the type of person who uses alcohol to numb the post-breakup pain, but a single drunken text message can really push your ex away and upset them. Or worse, depending on what you've said, right? So for your own sake, don't overdo it on the liquor if you are prone to drunk dialing or drunk texting your ex. The same goes obviously for drugs or really anything that reminds you of your ex or makes you more likely to reach out to them. Now let's move on to number 4, delete your ex from your contact list. Now, this is the nuclear option if you find you just can't stop yourself from contacting your ex. I know it seems impossible, but it does actually work. Now, I will warn you that you shouldn't do this if you think your ex will be reaching out to you in the future. It can really hurt your chances to hit them with who is this, just a few weeks after breaking up. But if you do feel the need to take this step, don't hesitate. But what about, when this period ends and you want to reach out to them again? Or what if you realize that, you have a legitimate reason to contact them, like, you need to pay a shared bill? Well, to solve this kind of problem, simple solution is just to write down their number and give it to a friend. Explain the situation, tell them not to give you the number back for a certain period of time or outside of, very specific situations. And if you don't have someone like that in your life, well, you can always write down the number and seal it in an envelope. This obviously, that won't stop you from physically doing it, opening it, but it can at least create a barrier that will make you think twice about contacting your ex. It's all about putting little checks on your behavior if you want to break a habit. I find that deleting them from your phone is pretty much the easiest way to stop yourself from contacting your ex. At least that is, if you don't have their number memorized. All right, and number 5 is to train yourself by setting a rule. So set a rule like this. Every time you think about contacting your ex, put a dollar bill in a piggy bank and remind yourself that not contacting your ex is the best way to get him or her back. Other people prefer, more painful or irritating self-reminders. For example, anytime you reach for your phone to text your ex, snap a rubber band on your wrist, or do pretty much anything that's actually unpleasant in the hopes that this action will remind you it's a bad idea to contact your ex. My personal favorite, each time you grab your phone and think about calling or texting your ex, send yourself a text instead, saying, I must not contact my ex. Obviously, this is going to feel kind of silly, but replacing negative behavior with another habit has been proven to help you break bad habits. So don't knock it, at least until you've tried it. And number 6, get support from a breakup expert. Would you fix your own electrical wiring in your house yourself to save a couple bucks? Would you do your own dentistry? Obviously not, right? So why risk something as important as your romantic future by trying to go it alone? You can learn more about my one-on-one coaching over at breakupbrad.com/coaching. I promise the price is incredibly reasonable, and I've helped tens of thousands of people in worse situations than yours that help them win second chances with their ex. When you sign up, I work with you directly to build a plan for how to proceed and how to make sure you win back your ex. Please don't discount the value of having help from an outside party during this difficult time. Again, go to breakupbrad.com/coaching to learn more. Now, at the start of this video, I said I'd tell you how to handle unintentional and necessary contact between you and your ex during no contact. So let's talk about that. First of all, don't freak out. I've had a few clients who broke no contact for a good reason and then let it derail them into begging, pleading, and just generally pathetic behavior that destroyed their chances with their ex for good. So remember that while no contact is the ideal, a single slip-up is better than 2 slip-ups. All you can do now is move forward and recommit to no contact. Now, there are moments where you need to talk to your ex for a legitimate, unavoidable reason. Maybe they have to pick up your kids from school. Maybe they left their laptop in your car. You need to pay them back some money you owe them. Whatever it is, don't use no contact as an excuse here. The small damage that you do by breaking no contact is going to pale in comparison to the huge issues that can be caused by just ignoring them when they contact you for a real, the right reason. So in this case, you should speak to them, but keep it short, to the point, and don't get drawn into any big conversations about the breakup or your relationship. Don't be rude to your ex, but don't be overly friendly or familiar. And then when everything is settled, recommit to the process and get back to ignoring your ex. All right, and with that, guys, that brings us to the end. I hope I've helped you understand no contact better and how to maintain it even when things get difficult. Thanks so much for watching, and as with all my other videos, if you have a question, leave it in the comments section below. And click that like button if you found it helpful. Thanks a lot. See you guys in the next video.